Hi guys, welcome. Thanks for joining me as we look ahead to midweek racing on Wednesday here in the Mother City. We're racing out of the country course Hollywoodbets Durbanville. They have an 8-race program for the day where the first gets underway at 12:45. Weather-wise here in the Mother City, we've seen a considerable change over the last week. In fact, last week started off with some sweltering temperatures. We've subsequently had our first rain for the season. The temperature has dropped considerably and we continue to get intermittent rain. In fact, there is rain forecast from Tuesday into Wednesday. So that's going to make things a little bit more difficult than I thought it already is, as I make this quite a tricky Hollywoodbets Durbanville card. Now, as I said, the first of those 8 gets underway at 12:45. And for those who intend taking the free Hollywoodbet Punter Challenge entry, you need to have that on 5 minutes before the advertised starting time. Very important, you need to take the bet slip because that is what puts you in line for that big jackpot prize if you were to be the one person to correctly pick all the winners on this program. Let's see how many we can find. In fact, I think we're starting the day off with a good thing because we've got 2 scratchings in the opener. Scratched is number 5 Warhawk and number 7 Star Icon. They're both out. Number 1 Past and Present from an opening call of even money as shortened to 0.83 on hollywoodbets.net, and I think this horse will be a tough nut to crack. Runner-up in its last 2, jumps from pole position, has got JP Fundamanova up for the Justin Snaith yard. Ran second last time out to a horse called Umfula, who has subsequently come out and won again. So that certainly has strengthened that form line, and I do think that Past and Present will be a tough nut to crack if seeing out the distance. Number 4, Woodworld, I make that the biggest danger, model of consistency, another one going this far over the track and trip for the first time, and I think that will give number 1, Past and Present, the most run for its money. For third, I'm going with number 3, Aravistus, and for fourth with number 8, Lucky 13. 1, 4, 3, 8 are the numbers I'm siding with in the opener. Second race, first leg of the place accumulator, is an open maiden for fillies over 1,400 metres. Wide open affair as far as the betting is concerned. 3.03 about number 4, Wild Applause. 3.57, number 11, Thingamabob. 4-1, number 7, Miss William. 8, we have a situation, 6.25 from an opening call of 5-1. And number 6, Alex Miller, from 6.25 to 7.14. And then it's double figures about the others. When I opened the second race, my eye immediately fell on number 8, we have a situation. Reason being, last time out, I tipped this as the best each-way bet on the card. Ran second, so at least we broke square. See, Grant van Niekerk is retaining the ride for the Paddy Crayer yard. This horse is a model of consistency. The run before that, I tipped it as a good thing. Started a short price favourite and disappointed. Ran third. This horse just can't seem to find the winner's enclosure. Guess what? Today of all days, I'm not going to tip it, so it probably will end up in the number 1 box. I decided I'm going to look elsewhere. I then went to look at number 4, Wild Applause. Richard Fourie rides for Justin Snaith. I thought this horse very expensive to follow and just tend to lack finishing off its races. So I continued to look. Then came across number 7, Miss William. Now this horse showed pace on debut and with any amount of natural improvement that is expected, probably will be one of those that makes the shortlist. But I continued to look further. When I got to number 11, Thingamabob, I was sold. That stable of Andre Nel is in such fine fettle, and Corne Orfa has been churning out the winners left, right and centre for the stable, and I'm going to go with 11 Thingamabob as my first choice in race 2. Will in all likelihood, from a deep draw of 11 jump, sit a little bit deep for that first 400, cross, slotting in front from the top of the back straight as they take the turn, and from that point on, it will be a case of come and catch me if you can. So I'm going 11 Thingamabob to win it. From 8, we have a situation. 7, Miss William, and 4, Wild Applause. Third race on the card is an open maiden. 12 runners to contest the third race on the card. Just having a look. In fact, there's one scratching. Number 10, Count William. So a field of 11 runners will contest the third race on the card. Number 8, Grand Canaria, is the favourite. Gavin Larena teaming up with Justin Snaith. I can see why this horse is priced up 2-1 on hollywoodbet.net, but I'm going with number 3, Show Off, who's currently 2.86 to 1, and I do think that this is one of the better bets on the card. This horse showed improvement from first to second start. That's the kind of horse I like to go for. It also renews rivalry with stable companion number 1, Monkey Puzzle. And he meets Monkey Puzzle now on 2 kilos better off terms for a 1.3 length beating last time out, and that means that Show Off can reverse the form with number 1, Monkey Puzzle. I also think that further natural improvement can be expected, and with Richard Fourie retaining the ride, to me will be a hard horse to beat. So I'm going 3, Show Off to win the third, ahead of 1, Monkey Puzzle. Third, I'm going with 8, Gran Canaria, and fourth, 11, Noble Hero. 3, 1, 8, 11, the numbers in race 3. That takes us on to race 4, which is a Class 4 benchmark 79, 8 runners to contest the 1600 metre event. It's 2 to 1 about number 6, King's Quest, 2.86 number 8, Touchdown, 3.33 number 3, Pinot Grigio, 8 to 1 number 5, Unicorn Alert, 10 to 1 Bar. I had a look at the favourite and I thought, this is definitely one that I could go with. That Candace Bass Robinson Yard has been churning out the winners, and so too has Alda de Meyer been riding them. This horse ran 2 very good post-maiden runs when staying on both occasions to finish in the money. Now, King's Quest is also a kilo better off at the weights, with number 8, Touchdown, for a 1.85 length beating. That does bring King's Quest closer to Touchdown, but it does mean that I don't think it's going to get past number 8, Touchdown. Now, Touchdown was beaten by a shorthead last time out in Class 4 company over the course and distance. He was running on very strongly on that occasion and returned making a respiratory noise, which makes that a run full of merit. I do think Touchdown has what it takes to go one better, and with Gavin Larena on board, I make Touchdown my first choice selection to win it, ahead of 6, King's Quest. Third, I'm going with 5, Unicorn Alert, and fourth with number 3, Pinot Grigio. 8, 6, 5, 3, the numbers in race number 4. Race 5 is a Class 5 benchmark 66. 10 runners to contest this 1800 metre contest. In fact, we have 1 scratching in race 5. You can take out number 10, Twilight Warrior. Now, as far as the betting is concerned, number 4, All About Ronnie, shortened from 3.57 into 2.86. I think this probably is the revised betting after the scratching of number 10, Twilight Warrior. 3.57 about number 3, Summer Night City. 4.55 Mohandas, 8 to 1 and upwards the others. I can see why 4 All About Ronnie is favoured. The Richard Fourie factor now riding for Des McLaughlin, and Gavin Larena could make all the difference on board number 3, Summer Night City, for Eric Sands. But I'm going for the value in this race, and I've labelled number 9, Mohandas, as a nice each-way selection in race number 5. I think this horse ran a much improved race last time out when sitting up handy and staying on at the business end of affairs. This horse also finished second, if you look at the form, in its only attempt over the course and distance. And I do think that from a deep draw, will be running on very strongly in the closing stages, and with Pumium Jokwa retaining the ride, this horse will be competitive in a race of this nature. So I'm going 9 Mohandas to win it, ahead of 3 Summer Night City, 4 All About Ronnie, 5 St. Bridget. 9, 3, 4, 5, the numbers in race number 5. That takes us on to race 6 on the programme. It's a D-Stakes. 9 runners to contest this 1200 metre event. And I thought Adam Marcus holds the key to the outcome, because he's got 2 Tambourine Man at 3.33, so 2 number 3 True Horizon at 3.33, 4 Nile the Boss is at 4 to 1. I went for that one last time out. Then it is 4 to 1 about number 6 Isquero, and 7 to 1 Bar. I'll start with Tambourine Man. This horse, my goodness, has really bounced back to winning ways, won its last 2 on the trot, and is unsung for the hat-trick. However, its stable companion, number 4 True Horizon, is 4 kilos better off at the weights for a 1.1 length beating last time out, which means that True Horizon should be able to reverse the form with number 2 Tambourine Man. But I'd said that I went for Now the Boss last time out because Now the Boss really is a model of consistency, and it's good to see that Richard Fourie is retaining the ride on number 4, Now the Boss, for Piet Botha. And if you look at the form, you'll see that there's precious little to choose between 2 Tambourine Man and 4 Now the Boss. When they last met each other, I think there's 0.2 in it. So, why not? I'm going for Now the Boss again. 4 Now the Boss is my first choice selection to win it, ahead of 3 True Horizon, 2 Tambourine Man, and 6 Esquero. 4, 3, 2, 6. The numbers, race 6. That takes us on to race number 7, the penultimate, a Class 4, fillies and mares, to be run over 1,250 metres. A field of 14 runners will contest race 7. And as far as the betting is concerned, number 1, So Hot So What, is priced up at 2 to 1. Number 3, Captain's Destiny, from 4 to 1 out 5 to 1. And number 14, Miraculous, from 5 to 1 has drifted to 7.14, and it's double figures about the others. I thought the winner should come from either 1, 2 or 3. I'll start with number 1, So Hot So What, who is currently 2 to 1 favourite on Hollywoodbets.net. This horse just missed the hat-trick last time out when collared close home. I do think, being lightly raced, Lucinda Woodruff is in very good form as far as the stable is concerned, and with Gavin Larena on board, could bounce back to winning ways. 2 Champagne Kisses, though, that was a flat run last time out, and I think we can put a line through that last start, because if one looks at the form prior to that, had solid form. In fact, I do think that Champagne Kisses can certainly make amends here, because if one looks at the form, you'll see that Champagne Kisses won her only attempt over the course and distance, and Gareth Wright for Justin Snaith. Those two can also be in the firing line. However, when I got number 3, Captain's Destiny, Oswald Noach, regular pilot for Captain's Destiny for the Vaughan Marshall Yard, I realised that Captain's Destiny is 2 kilos better off at the weights with number 1, So Hot So What, for a 0.5 length beating. Sold. I'm going 3 Captain's Destiny to win it, ahead of 1, So Hot So What, for third number 2, Champagne Kisses, and for fourth I'm going for 14, Miraculous. 3, 1, 2, 14, the numbers in race number 7. That takes us on to the last race on the card. It's a Class 4 benchmark 79. 14 runners to contest this 1,250 metre event. In fact, we do have a scratching in race 8. Number 14, Secret Passage, takes no part. So it's 13 of them wide open as far as the betting is concerned. 3.33, number 1, Counter Attack. 3.57, number 7, My Archangel. 4.55, number 6, Firing on All Engines. 5 to 1, number 10, Street Outlaw. 7.14, number 2, Paroshka. Double figures about the others. I can see why number 1, Counter Attack, is favourite. Candace Bass Robinson, Alda de Meyer. These two are a formidable combination. In fact, more often than not, they also do tend to win the last race on the card. But I went to have a look at that race of number 10, Street Outlaw again. Richard Fourie really made the difference that day. That was a hard-fought victory, and Street Outlaw picked up a 2-point penalty for that win, so it's not going to be all that cut and dry for Street Outlaw, because he does renew rivalry with number 2, Paroshka, who happens to be 1.5 kilos better off at the weights for a 1.35 length beating, so that puts Paroshka right alongside Street Outlaw. And then number 6, Firing on All Engines, is also 1 kilo better off at the weights, and that was for a short head beating, which means that Firing on All Engines should finish ahead of Street Outlaw. That's where the value lies. I'm going 6, Firing on All Engines to win the last, ahead of 10, Street Outlaw, for third number 1, Counter Attack, and fourth number 2, Paroshka. 6, 10, 1, 2, the numbers in race number 8, and that takes care of our preview at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. Trust you'll find the winners. Till next time from me, Rouvaun, you take care. Cheers for now.